Welcome to Optonome CEO Corner. I'm your host, Dennis Dicker. Let's get started, shall we? All right, how's everybody doing? Happy Friday, July 15th. It is summertime. Let's get into it. We're going to take a deep dive today into the Optonome application and the many updates, specifically managing your back office. I really want everybody to understand everything that goes into your back office, such as accounting, management, quality management, referrals, specifically referrals. You want to make sure everything's updated in there. Staff channels, participant channels, marketing, management. It's very important. Let's get into it. All right. So this is your typical back office. On your left side, you would have an accounting department, or some type of quality management department with advocates. Specifically, you would have some type of advocacy for each client. Billing goes along with accounting, but with Optonome, you are able to subdivide things, and eventually we'll be able to group them back up later on. So for now, we have a separate accounting channel and separate billing channel. As far as other accounting related tasks, within each participant channel, there should be some type of receipt form that's being used where that information will eventually, it can be pulled into the accounting channel. And the reason behind this is we want to keep a paper trail of all your expenses as well as revenue. We are able to keep track of certain line items for now, such as visits. We have a visit log, including all the time spent with a client. We want to be able to capture all the expenses, not just your staff pay. All right, so this is the staff amount here for this particular service. Imagine if you have 100, 200 visits a month. It definitely adds up. So this allows you to quickly be able to see your visits, be able to verify your visits, because in your typical scenario of managing your business, this is what providers are actually doing right now in 2022. They could either print out forms for people to fill out, or someone, because of electronic visit verification, they're just clocking in and out using a separate system, and then they use another system to actually keep track of documentation. With Optonome, it's all in one, and you can actually jump to the actual channel where the documentation is kept. That way you can quickly see, if you want to, the actual end of service form. You're able to see the details of the actual service, how much you are getting paid, what are your expenses for this particular service. For this particular service, it looks like about $25 an hour for the service, and the staff rate is about $20. All right. In this type of scenario, it looks like you could be profiting around $3 an hour, which again is not bad if you add it up. If you want to start to do the math, you can generate everything to Excel and really start to work on your budget. One of the most important parts is your budget. And that's why most states, they want to see your budget details when qualifying for services. Once your business is up and running, the important part is to make sure everything is in order before you bill. You don't want to bill and then make sure everything is in order. because you can get audited and then you'll have to give the money back. It's actually called fraud if you actually bill knowing that the service was not being provided or there's no documentation. So you want to be ahead of the curve as far as service delivery. As far as your staff, they don't care. They want to get paid. They don't care about your compliance issues, none of that. Unless they're getting paid to review something as far as regulation compliance, they don't care. Okay, so that's why within the DSP 123, we're really training them to become supervisors and managers. So they're not just going out and providing the service. They understand what's required from them, from your agency. All right, so they really do care more, and as a result, they get paid more. All right, that's the DSP 123 approach. It's not you're just getting money because we want to pay you more, but it should be related to the actual value that they're bringing to service delivery. Unfortunately, with the pandemic, you have there was just a push to increase wages without better training, and that's really unfortunate in the home healthcare industry because our goal is to increase the wages along with better training, better output from the staff. It looks like it's just increased wages and still the same issues are coming about in the industry because it still boils down to better training. Okay, so within your EVV visits, within the next week or so, we're finalizing it over the weekend, you'll have a setup like this within your agency where you're able to create a new visit. When you create a new visit, you can select a client. The client will be a John Doe. The employee will be you. The state will be your state, and the service will be this service code right here. OPT 0001. It's just an Optonome service code that I created for a companion type service. And this is more on the private pay side, where I do believe you can charge around $25 for such service. And the service is basic companionship, basic service with your clinical oversight, which is really it's like a full spectrum of supervision that people would want. Because you're a clinician, it would be great to actually have just someone, an expert, to be able to see such service delivery, even if the person needs companionship. Most of the times, those that do need companion services do have other healthcare needs that are being taken care of by a doctor or nurse, something along those lines. And they come out of pocket for these companion services where the companion comes into the home maybe every day, 35 hours a day, in some cases 24 hours a day, and leaves. And this could happen for a year. This could happen for 2 years. This could happen for 10 years. So the goal is to try to have more oversight in place before it's too late. All right. So your EVV should help you with that. As far as the document section, we've been really pulling it all together instead of giving you too many confusing ways to navigate your business. So you now just have the members, your visits, which is related to service delivery, and any documents similar to a Dropbox, but you can actually create forms for people to complete, or templates for people to complete ongoing. Eventually, your forms will become documents if they're completed. So this submitted forms will be combined to documents because it's really a document section that needs to be saved for the next 5-10 years. Whether it's a form or a document, ISP, anything that you're uploading at that time goes here. It's not showing here because it pulls from the channels. Again, the submitted forms, it pulls from the channels. We do have a number of submission, but it will be adjusted soon. This is supposed to be in time order, meaning you'll be able to see all the forms submitted in your channel based on time, and then you'll be able to click on one of the forms and be able to see all the submitted forms of that form that have been completed in the past. All right. So this really helps when you need to analyze data, such as a quick note over time. If you want to eventually check on a specific goal that was being worked on over time, if you want to keep track of how someone is doing when there's a certain mood that's indicated by the DSP. There's so many ways you can use this information to provide a better quality service for that client and their entire team. Again, this insight and this data is here to help you better understand your business and really pinpoint where the issues are and get the support and improve. We don't want to wait. We want to pinpoint what the issues are, either pivot or be able to figure out the issues and improve upon it. All right. So what I just showed you on the EVV visits before, this should help you get a solid budget in place. Once things get going, you shouldn't complain or feel as though you're in a situation that is not going to be successful. If you talk to those that are actually working in their business, they are successful, they're doing great, and the sky's the limit. All right. Let me go back into how visits are verified. In today's age, if you're using paper, people don't verify these visits, meaning there's just a collection of documentation. Eventually, somebody will review it. Most of the time, I would say 10% of the information is probably reviewed. That's actually documented and then shared with the team. So you have a way to quickly do this from your phone or desktop. As far as other providers, in order for them to bill, again, they don't review the documentation. What they do is they have a separate clock in and clock out system, and they use that to determine how much units they're billing, because they figure if the staff is clocking in and out, then they're actually at the site or they actually did the job that's needed. They don't review those notes, okay, especially in residential, actually reviewing all that documentation. If there's documentation, just a start a service and an end of service, that could be maybe 6 forms at the same time. You don't know what's going on every hour of that day. So your business is at high risk at that point. So we don't want that. And here, you're able to see all the notes. You're able to see the start and end of service. You're able to verify such visits just like that. Once a visit is verified, we bill. Okay? We bill after each visit is verified. That way, you give the okay for the system to bill. Once it's billed, we either indicate error, as in red, or approved. Okay? If it's error, it's up to you to take that information and contact the case manager for this client, or pull the latest support plan to double check the reason for the error. Okay, I tell everyone to just pull the support plan, the latest support plan, upload it into your channel. We could review together and see what the issue is before emailing or contacting anybody. You want to make sure you know what you're talking about before talking to anybody outside of your organization. You don't want to ask questions first, okay? That shows how much knowledge you have and how much you know about your business. So definitely check off all the boxes before contacting any third party, okay? It's very important. It will come back and bite you, okay? So with that said, internally, we can pretty much figure out 90% of the issues with the error. If there is an error, it will be entered here, and it will say something like, we'll just put error with the ICN code, or any other information related to the error, which could be no units, service data's wrong, things like that. All right. So again, it could show error here, just like that, or approved. Once it's approved, you will get some type of statement showing when it gets paid. When it's actually get paid, I would say when it actually gets paid, you have to do your own audit, similar to how you do an audit for your own bank account. Up until recently, all this was done manually. If you look at the back of your checkbook, there's a way to balance your books. All right, just recently, there was a way to actually view the transactions in your bank and do this online, as in saying this is cleared, or this happened, or this didn't happen. This is very recent, less than 10 years. And so what we're doing right here is we're building out a solution so that visits and what's being paid, just like your bank account and say QuickBooks or those other solutions that connect to your bank account, this will allow us to automatically balance your books. So you know your accounts receivable, what is accounts receivable, what's billed, and what's owed to you to be paid, okay? In most home health care, I would say 30 days, 21 to 30 days to receive your funds. But again, errors do happen, and a support plan could not be approved or something, or the support coordinator could forget to approve something. So in some cases, if you're not really on top of things, 2 months could go by, 3 months could go by. And because our system is pretty much just moving forward, we needed to put something in place to help alert you so you don't forget, even though you should want to know where all your money is. So if it is an error, we are putting an indicator so that you're alerted. Say after 2 weeks, if this is red for 2 weeks, you will get alerted. Our autonomy team will get alerted, and we'll try to help at that point. But the first 2 weeks, we're just trying to rebuild things like that, so you can hopefully get it billed and there are no more errors. So again, the first 2 weeks, we try to continue to bill after you verify. If it continues to stay in error, you're notified, so you can contact that support coordinator and resolve that issue. All right. I don't know if anybody knows about this little shortcut here. You just press this, and you're able to see everything in your back office. Last week, I asked everyone to create a staff channel, and it says staff and your name. All right. This is really important because as we tie information into the system, there are many important parts of it that needs to be connected, such as a channel with your staff name, a channel with the participant's name. And once it's tied together, you start to get these indicators. So this one says consumer, this one says provider, this one should say to tie into the staff, but the staff is tied in, okay? And any information here, such as a form for the staff to call out, any type of reminders, you can put it here. But this is like a private channel for the staff where you can start to add reminders for them to do their job. You can add reminders to complete a task. Anything can go here, because again, this particular staff have their own calendar within this channel. So you can set up meetings, anything along those lines, all right? And again, it ties all together so that you can automatically do payroll and things like that. It's automatically calculated for you. Again, all these different aspects are important to help you scale. As a mom and pop type organization starting out, you don't want to end like that. You want to make it to multi-millions. If you have that mindset of a mom and pop shop, you're not going to be able to scale. All right. It's very important that you're able to scale long term and you have a business that creates passive income over time. Please be sure to check out www.optonome.com. We have ways to get started. You could really understand all the great features of the Optonome application and the different industries it can be applied to. You can also learn more about how we got here, things like that, and our growing marketplace. We have integrative human services, Care in Minds, Helping Hands Health, Emerge Community Services, Trinity Health and Home, We Care Support Services, Hortus Health, Independence Fits You, Tandem Community Care, Inspire Home and Health, Pro Social Services. There are many more providers that are up and running, but their websites are not ready. Please go to your marketing channel and check out what's missing within your marketing. Work on your marketing every day. Create some type of short content. Let's try to get on TikTok. Let's get on Instagram. Let's let the world know that you're out there. You have great value, and let's get it. Thanks for watching, everybody.